better quality videos and so on. Okay, the bell has sounded. It's 12 o'clock. Let's go. So, as per usual, we're going to start with a deep breath and allowing ourselves to find a sense of calm and centeredness in the middle of wherever we are and whatever we may be doing. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, sit comfortably but alert, draw a deep breath in through your nose, then hold your breath. Notice where you might be feeling tension or tightness in your body, and then exhale. Imagine you can breathe out any stress, tension, or struggle in your life. Even if it's just something you're in the middle of right now, take your next breath in, big breath in through the nose, hold the breath. Search your body for any feeling of tension or tightness, any energy of difficult emotion. And then when you exhale, long, slow, full exhale, breathe out and imagine you can let it all go. And you're going to continue this process, breathing in through the nose, holding it a moment, and then really concentrating on the exhale. You want to exhale to absolute completion. In fact, you'll be surprised at just how much you can exhale. As we do this, we experience a growing sense of calm. As we do this, we feel a growing sense of expansiveness. And I encourage you, keeping your eyes closed, staying connected to your breath, to really let yourself experience the stillness and the silence that is within you and around you. As you glimpse this sense of stillness, this vast darkness of the inner world when our eyes are closed, imagine that this is the oneness that the great sages and teachers speak of. Imagine that your inner darkness is the same inner darkness of every other being in the world. It is the same vastness that fills the space between stars. It is the same energy that lives at the heart of every atom, every cell, every fiber of this universe. And staying in that calm, staying with your breath, slowly, purposefully in, holding it a moment, long, long exhale, I'd like you to just take in the words, the images, and the feelings of this beautiful poem by the 12th century German mystic Meister Eckhart. When I was the forest, when I was the stream, when I was the still field, when I was every hoof, foot, fin, and wing, when I was the sky itself. No one ever asked me, did I have a purpose? No one ever asked or wondered, was there anything I might need? For there was nothing I could not love. It was when I left all we once were that the agony began, the fear and questions came, and I wept and wept. And tears I had never known before. So I returned. I returned to the river. I returned to the mountains. I asked for their hand in marriage. Again, I begged to wed every object and creature. And when they accepted, God was present in my arms. And he did not say, where have you been? For then I knew my soul, every soul, has always held him. When you're ready, you can come back to the room. And our topic today is, what is oneness? And why is it so essential to your future, to your wellness, and to the future of humanity? Well, I want to start by saying that for the longest time, I have talked about oneness and thought about oneness as though it were a spiritual concept. But the problem with that is it kind of betrays the very principle of oneness, right? So to put it in a category and say it's spiritual is sort of to imply that it's not other things. It's not mathematical. It's not religious. It's not science. It's not psychology. When in fact, oneness is found in all these traditions. I finally started to realize that oneness is really a consciousness. And when I say consciousness, that means it's a worldview. It's a paradigm. Now, a worldview or a paradigm means that it is a fundamental filter through which you see everything. For example, if you live in a dualistic paradigm, then it's quite easy to believe in competition, in right and wrong, in the unnecessary power of collaboration or cooperation, because you fundamentally believe in division, in power struggle, and that ultimately life is a process of dominance. It's an example. Throughout human history, we have evolved through many paradigms or worldviews as we've acquired more and more knowledge about who and what we are. Now, here's the really weird part. If you go back through time and you look at the phenomena of mystical experience, in other words, when people claim to have directly perceived the ultimate nature of reality, okay? That's actually what we call it in academics. Mysticism is the direct experience of the ultimate nature of reality. It almost sounds like something from an Avengers movie or The Matrix, and maybe it is. It's called that, though, because when the mystics throughout time encountered this thing, this ultimate experience of spiritual consciousness, that's what it felt like. It felt like the ultimate nature of reality revealed. It felt like a direct experience of God, a direct experience of spirit, a direct experience of the fabric of reality itself. Now, this is a very, very interesting social science fact that is wildly overlooked and undermined and underestimated. Think about this. Throughout time and around the world, there is a human experience that defies time, culture, gender, belief, and that is the mystical experience, the experience of the ultimate nature of reality. Now, we have to be clear. The mystical experience is not synonymous with a religious experience. Religious experiences reflect religious content, and they are different all over the world and throughout time. But the mystical experience is the one or one of the few human experiences that seems to transcend time and space itself. Now, that's really interesting because just about everything else that we say we believe or we experience and put down in our books of history, we eventually prove obsolete, incomplete, or just plain wrong. Now, let's jump to the present. In virtually every hard science in the last, for sure 100 years, but more likely in the last 50 years, what we've seen is the evolution and the eventual pervasive expression of systems theory. We see it in ecology, engineering, physics, psychology, medicine. Systems theory now pervades all the hard sciences. And systems theory means that you can't understand any one thing independent of the system that it's in, that everything ultimately exists in some kind of a system. And in that sense, everything inside the system, though disparate and different, they're actually one thing, one system. So you could call the body a system. And sure, you could take out the tonsils and say it has no real effect, but we know that that's not true. Just surgery alone itself affects the whole body, right? We can have a cold, we can have coronavirus, we could stub our toe, and yet every experience is interacting with the whole self, interacts with the brain, the nervous system, blood pressure, how well we sleep, how well we eat. We are a whole integrated system, and we have this one thing, and we call it the body. So think about that. One thing, the body. But it's actually made up of all these little things inside. In fact, trillions of little things if you include the cells. Doctors can specialize, ears, nose, throat, oncology, and so on. This style of system thinking is now considered obvious in the hard sciences, whether you're changing the parts of a car engine or whether you're studying atmospheric pressure. We have to keep looking to the larger story to understand all the pieces and interrelationships in the smaller stories. Ultimately, what we must embrace, consider, integrate is the understanding that life itself is a system. Existence is a system. And when you think of it that way, it clearly explains why oneness thinking or feeling or phenomena are appearing everywhere, always. When you look for it, you'll see it. You'll see it spiritually, you'll see it emotionally, you'll see it in race relations, you'll see it in pandemics, you'll see it in political struggle. In other words, we all live in one infinite system. It is what system theorists would call an open system, because we can't imagine anything beyond it, but if there is anything beyond it, it's open. We are open to that which is infinitely beyond that which we can see, measure, and control. When you start to embrace oneness thinking, oneness feeling, systems thinking in your life, when you use that as the lens by which you see everyone and everything, it immediately diminishes the divisiveness of difference and illuminates the inherent nature of interconnection. Now pay attention, because we're about to wrap up. It eliminates the divisiveness of division. You and your partner, you and your spouse, you and your work, you and whatever you struggle with in your life. You want control over it. You want power over it. You want to judge it. You get the idea? You are feeding the divisiveness. But to embrace the oneness system, the infinite system of oneness thinking, is not to pretend there are no differences, but is to see their value differently. It is to understand that you and everyone you oppose, everyone you react to, everyone you love and cherish, you are intimately interconnected in a larger whole that we can call the oneness system, or what religious and spiritual masters have called God, Spirit, the great mystery, the source, consciousness, energy, life, existence. It doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is that you challenge yourself to embrace a oneness consciousness, a oneness paradigm in any and every area of your life, and then ask yourself, how does it change your experience? How does it change your experience when all difference is but an affirmation of interconnection, and all decision making, all love, all generosity, all healing, and all thinking of your own condition occurs within an infinitely interconnected singular system of which you are but one precious expression. Well, it is the 12 at 12. We started a little early today because this is our first one back. So if you've been here for the whole time, we're running long. And typically, if you join the 12 at 12, it's usually more like 15 minutes, but I'm grateful you came today. And we're going to continue to explore the topic of oneness as a way to find wellness, oneness as a way to find peace and healing in the world. And hey, I see some of you out there, Carrie, Kathy. It's great to see you guys found me here on YouTube. Anyway, thank you one and all for being here for the kickoff today. And I will see you again tomorrow. If not live, there will be a recording up here at exactly 12 noon Mountain Time. And I can't wait for what's next. Lots of love. Take care. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. There's no emails that follow, but it helps when you build my following. We can have better camera quality. We can do mobile videos. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.